Yeah, and talk to us about like acquiring some of those early clients, specifically when it kind of comes to like the stigma of ghostwriting. I know some people don't like to say they had a ghostwriter and all that. So can you talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that too?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, I extend full confidentiality to all of my clients. So I can't put testimonials on my website from my book ghostwriting clients, for example. And yeah, there is this stigma. I run into people all the time who tell me that they had a terrible experience with a ghostwriter, that someone took their money and never delivered on the book, or the book wasn't good. Um, but I decided really early on that I wanted my process to be really collaborative. So I work really closely with my clients. I can't imagine writing a book that doesn't feel like yours. I can't imagine having someone else write a book for me that doesn't feel like me, like I just can't, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, we meet weekly, we talk through different pieces. I write, they edit. It's a really nice mind meld when it happens well. And for some of my early clients, I wrote a memoir really early on. I don't really write memoirs these days. They're business books designed to help you grow your business. That's what I focus on. But I wrote a memoir with a professional dancer in Myrtle Beach, and she was talking about her eating disorders and things like that. And basically, she handed me her diary, and then I wrote the book from that. But that was an interesting project, but really unusual from kind of the norm and the things that I've sort of found my way into since then. I wrote books with money coaches, parenting coaches, um, tons of business owners, entrepreneurs. Yeah.
How do you brand yourself as a ghostwriter when again a lot of that is behind the scenes and there's that
Yeah.
trustworthy piece you're talking about. How do you position yourself where it's like I'm the right person for you, but I might be behind the scenes. Even though I've looked at your LinkedIn, you do that. So just interested in.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. It isn't very, it's not easy. You're right. That trust factor can be a little hard. People ask for writing samples and things sometimes, and I can't really share writing samples. I mean, they can look at my blog, but also I think every book is so different that a writing sample isn't very helpful. If you don't believe I could write, I don't know how to help you. Like you know that I can write. So what are you getting out of looking at a writing sample? But yeah, I just, I get on those sales calls and there has to be a really nice personality fit. That has to make a lot of sense to both of us because it's also a big investment, ghostwriting, and it's a lot of trust to place in a person before you really see any results at all.
Right.
And so yeah, but I I say that I can write a book in 4 months, and I do that with a lot of people, 16 weeks. Um, but I also am sensitive, like if the book in 16 weeks isn't where we want it to be, I keep working. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, sorry, too late, we're done. We get it right. And I have worked with people where we scrap the whole first draft and it's hard. But that's I think an important thing for people to understand. I'm gonna work hard to make sure that it fits your voice and feels like you and all of that. Where I can run into trouble is if a person isn't really clear on what they want their book to be. So I require people to come to me with an outline. And we can't stray too far from that because now all of a sudden we're writing a different book than we agreed to, But as long as people are willing to be collaborative and talk with me and give me feedback, it's a really good process and it works.
Yeah, it's that two-way street, kind of like that collaborative process you talk about. Talk to me a little bit about the difference. Could you say you talk about having a idea partner as well? Can you
Yeah.
explain that worldview a little bit?
Sure, yeah, I do see myself as an idea partner rather as much as a ghostwriter. I mean, I am doing the bulk of the writing. I'm kind of helping you with the discipline of writing, I would say, but it's all your ideas. Like I think that's a misconception people have about ghostwriters sometimes that I'm going to come with all my ideas and share, but I'm not an expert in your field. You're the expert. I don't know anything about your area of expertise. So I'm just here to listen to you and help you become the kind of the mouthpiece for you in a way. And I have all of my clients are really willing to talk to prospects about how the process works. And so that's another kind of marketing piece that I use. I share their information with individuals and they're okay with that. And so that can help as well. Like, how does this process really work? What's it like on the inside? Well, those are all good questions for people
Oh
to
yeah,
ask.
I'm sure you get 1,000 questions all the
Oh
time.
yes, lots of questions.
So when you talk about like that aligning piece with like their business strategy, I know that that can be a tough too. Like, how do you kind of help people like get past that? Like, how do you position it so that it becomes a part of their brand and extension of them when they go out and put this book into the world?
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. Because I think people think of their book kind of compartmentalized from their business. In a lot of cases, it's like, oh, that's a thing I'll do in a couple of years, and they don't. But I want to say, look, you can grow your business at the same time as you're writing your book. So I preach that you should put your ideas out there when they're half baked. As soon as you think you're writing a book, say you're writing a book, tell people, and then start putting those ideas out into the world. And the reason for that is you'll start to feel ownership over that idea, and it'll start to feel real. You'll feel more motivated to write it. And then by the time it's ready, by the time it's out in the world, you've got this primed audience who's ready to buy from you. A lot of people think about the marketing of a book as happening 3 months before book launch and 3 months after book launch. But I want people to start thinking of the marketing and the promotion from day one. As soon as you have the idea, like you're marketing that book and you're marketing your business at the same time, because your book is the core of your business. The book is about the core of your business.
Yeah, when a book is done right too, you become like exactly what you kind of talk about, that thought leader perspective,
Yeah.
because there's so many people that I would have never known about like going through business that when I read their book, now I go and follow them. And now every time I'm in this, if I'm trying to find networking effects or something like that, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to this person. So they really, those books really do
Mhm.
crazy like for helping them put their brand out there in different ways than even social posting or interviews even do sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you have to be a thought leader, you need to be creating consistent content. That's a big part of it. And so if you're already creating all of this content, now if you can just get it rowing in the same direction, then those big ideas start popping out at you. You're like, oh, that's what I'm saying. That's the core of my business. And then it just becomes natural to write the book or even write the keynote speech or the keynote address, some kind of big idea. I'm always encouraging people to think about a strategy, a holistic strategy around all of your content rather than, okay, now I'm branding my business. Okay, now I'm writing my book. They're really one and the same. Your book is marketing your business. It's not the other way around. You do have to market your book, but that's doing double duty because as you market your book, you're marketing your business.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.